So now in 8.3, the next thing that we're going to talk about is percentiles. So the first thing to go over here is our definition of a percentile. So a value x is going to be in our data set, is called the pth percentile if p% of the data values are less than x. So example, if we have the 94th percentile for some specific data value in our data set x, then that means that 94% of the data values in the set are less than x. X is the specific data value that's being assigned the 94th percentile. A lot of the times you have probably seen percentiles in your standardized exam scores when you got those back. You got back your scores, and they usually break them down into each of the subjects and tell you what your percentile would be for those subjects. So maybe for one of them, such as like English, maybe you got like the 80th percentile. That would mean that you scored higher than 80% of all of the other people that took that same exam that you did. The first example here that we're going to do with percentiles is to use the percentiles to figure out what percent of people make or have incomes for anesthesiologists. So here in this one, we are told in 2019, the median annual salary for anesthesiologists was $246,000. And then we're also told the 80th percentile for the annual salary of an anesthesiologist was $324,000. And now we want to find the percent of anesthesiologists whose annual salary was more than $246,000, less than $324,000, and in between those two values. So to start, I'm going to kind of draw a picture here to sort of visualize what's happening with these percentiles that we've been given. So from 0 to 100 for our percentiles, we have been given the median, which we haven't quite talked about this yet for what that is as a percentile, but let's think through how the median is found. The median, we find the value that's directly in the middle of our data set. Well, that means that we have essentially cut our data in half and found that value in the middle. That means half of the data values are above it and half of the data values are below it, which means the median is corresponding to the 50th percentile. It's directly in the middle. And I'm saying that this is being assigned that value of 246,000 because that's the actual data value that is going with our median, the 50th percentile. So now, what percent of anesthesiologists make more than 246,000? Well, I'm looking at my 50th percentile here at our 246,000, and I want my percentage of that is above that. Well, what percent do I have between 50 and 100? Well, that's 50%. So we could say 50% make more than 246,000. The next one, we have what percent make less than 324,000? Well, 324,000 is my 80th percentile. So let's draw this on our picture here. Our 80th percentile is the 324,000. And now we want to know what percent make less than that. So from 0 to 80, well, that's going to be 80%. And then lastly, we want to know what percent make between 246,000 and 324,000. Well, we have our 50th percentile in the middle. And then we have our 80th percentile that's at the 324,000. And now we want to know what percentage make between that. Well, our percent between 50 and 80, we can calculate that by taking 80 minus 50 to give us 30%. Make between 246,000 and 324,000.